whole, and also as a follow-up to the investment proposals that we have, and then let us understand the focus of the committee. Thank you.
They have already engaged the local community, which is for me very important. In Kaduna, we have a very supportive communities who always support any development that comes. They own the projects, and I can assure you they will give all the support to ensure the successful implementation of this project. I would like to also, at this juncture, commend our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for this very important initiative. Because when the government came in, they made it clear to everyone that we will lift at least 100 million people out of poverty. And in my own opinion, just like the ambassador of China just said here, that the easiest way to lift people out of poverty is investment in agriculture. There's no two ways about that. Agriculture for me is the easiest way to address poverty, create jobs, and support our teeming population, particularly the downtrodden and underserved. For me, this project is one of the most important initiatives by this administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And of course, choosing Kaduna as the first state for this project, which will certainly, for me, the company have made it clear, the ambassador, that this is the biggest poultry project, not only in Nigeria, one completed, but in the whole continent, when you put the whole 6 states together. But for Kaduna, this project will go a long way in addressing the issue of addressing the poverty crisis, creating jobs, and support our smallholder farmers, those that are in the area of poultry. Not only that, we talk about the value chain, the other aspects of businesses that will improve. There are a lot of people that will get jobs, talking about over 50,000 direct jobs. And of course, when you talk about 50,000 direct jobs, they're also talking about over 200,000 indirect jobs, because there are a lot of other people that are in other trades that will benefit because of the fact that this initiative is situated in Kaduna. So I'm happy to announce that Kaduna State government will continue to give this very important initiative all the support. And of course, I also want to say that Kaduna is leading state in the area of maize production, the whole of Nigeria, and soybean production, the whole of Nigeria. So we have a very hardworking, very determined farmers. That is the reason why Kaduna State is #1 state to launch special agro-industrial processing zone in the whole of Nigeria. We're #1. And as we are speaking, we have been able to embark on even building our AQUAC, that's African Quality Assurance Center, in partnership with Afra-Exim Bank, meaning our farmers can export their produce from Kaduna. All the certification we in Kaduna, again, we are the second state in the whole of Nigeria to embark on that project. So Kaduna is leading in many things when it comes to agriculture. Not to talk of the fact that agriculture contributes to about 43% of our GDP, 60% of our workforce. And I have no doubt in my mind, with this very laudable project, we'll be talking about probably 40% of our GDP, and the workforce will increase from 60% to about 70% by the time we complete this very laudable project by the grace of God. So what we are saying here is that this project, I'm happy the CCC have made it clear to us that the groundbreaking will be conducted in December. We're talking about next month by the grace of God. And I have no doubt in my mind our very amiable President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be in Kaduna to do the groundbreaking of this very important project. But I want to also commend the ambassador of China, who is here with me. China is the leading strategic partner with Nigeria in the whole world. I can say that. We have a lot of business partnership in the area of agriculture, in the area of renewable energy, in the area of infrastructure, in the area of transportation, as well as in the area of ICT. Both the federal government and Kaduna State government have benefited tremendously in the partnership with the people of Kaduna and the Chinese government through your embassy here in Nigeria and other private companies that are working in Kaduna. I was privileged to be among the delegation that accompanied President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to China during the Forum on China-African Cooperation in 2024. And of course, I was also privileged to be among the 8 people that met President Xi Jinping during the bilateral discussion with Nigeria. And I can say here that we continue to appreciate the level of respect the Chinese government have for Nigeria. Nigeria is the largest and one of the leading economy in Africa. We are also one of the leading countries in the global south when it comes to the issue of economic development. And we have a lot of opportunity. The largest in terms of population in Africa, just like the China, is the largest country in terms of population in the whole world. So we have a lot of things in common. And of course, in that very bilateral discussion, we're so happy that most of the things President Xi promised Africa, we can see that most of them have been implemented. It's not just promise, but it's promise that have been fulfilled. And I want to see the opportunity to thank President Xi for all the support to Nigeria and standing for us at a time that we need our partners and our friends. So we thank Chinese government, and I want to also commend the ambassador for following on every issue that have to do with China and Nigeria relationship. I want to thank you, and thank you very much. Thank you.
The project. So there's something I would like to say first. We would like to thank the Renew Hope and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Without his support, the project cannot go this far. And also I would like to thank the Excellency support. Without your support, we cannot get all the certificate and all the approval in such a short time. And there are some numbers I want to raise. With our searching, we found out that this farm will be the biggest poultry farm in Nigeria. And we combine all the 6 poultry farms together, will be the biggest poultry farm in this continent. And I don't know, I guess it will be the biggest in the world, but we need to calculate. But in Africa, I'm 100% sure it will be the biggest poultry farm in Africa. And also, I would like to read some other number. Every year, we will produce in Kaduna State 300 million fresh eggs with high quality and international standard. Second, we count laying hens 1 million annually to support the protein for the state. And I'm also very proud after this, I would like to report to Excellency that we have got approval from Presidency, and we are now waiting for the fact, and the funding is released. We are waiting for the proper procedures. And with your supporting, the land is secured, and we have do the site visits many times. And we have discussed with the local government and also the traditional rulers. And with all their support, we have already sent our test sample back to China for our design purpose, the water, soil, and everything. The EIA has approved, and the public notice in the middle of October, waiting for the final approval. Our technical team is very strong, and including the expert institutions such as the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs of China, and the Chinese Academy of Agricultural Science, and the agricultural colleges and universities. And we have involving the top 10 poultry company in China and in Asia. And also we're involving the farming company, top 10 farming company in China, from China. So we don't want this project to make the farming great only in Kaduna. We want to also bring all the great farmers in Nigeria join us, and we make together to make the great farming. Our construction team is ready. is the biggest poultry farm in the north part of China, producing 2.5 million eggs per day.
Honorable Governor today. And let me start by saying that China and Nigeria, we enjoy excellent bilateral relations. And this relationship is built on the mutual respect and win-win cooperation. And this relationship has been like this for over half a century. Over the last year, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu paid a state visit to China and also attended the Forum for China-Africa Cooperation. So today is actually the one-year anniversary of President Tinubu's state visit to China. And since then, I think we have seen a strong momentum between the cooperation between China and Nigeria, which bring tangible benefits to both sides. And we have seen a lot of projects going on. Just to name a few, we have seen the railway has been built. We have seen the water project here in Abuja, which could provide clean waters for 3 million population a day. We have seen the negotiation on the production of insulin products here in Nigeria, which could make Nigeria the first African country to produce its own insulin on this continent, ending the potential relying on the export of insulins. And China always regarded Nigeria as a very important partner on this continent. We always stand together. Last week, the Communist Party of China convened the 4th plenary of the 20th committee. I think the main outcome of the meeting is to plan for the next 5 years. For China, we always plan ahead. This year is going to be the last year for the 14th five-year plan. So we make the 15th five-year plan for the next 5 years, which start from next year until 2030. And until now, we have the 14th five-year plan. If you look back, we have achieved all those goals set forth in those 5-year plans. For instance, the last 5-year plan, when we start the 5-year plan, the per capita GDP in China was roughly $10,000 compared to 45 years ago in 1980, Chinese per capita was $200. And after the 14th five-year plan, until now, this year, we anticipated that the per capita GDP will reach $13,000. So within the next 5 years, we anticipate, or maybe in the next 10 years, by 2035, our purpose or our aim is to target is to reach medium income developed countries. That means per capita roughly 25 to 27,000 US$. And China is going to expand our opening up to the world at an institutional level. So this, I think, is going to provide opportunities for countries all over the world, including Nigeria. One of the projects mentioned by my dear friend, TG Joseph Tabby, the Director General, is the export of potential exportation of soybeans to China. The good news is, against the backdrop that another country is increase the tariff to to the countries all over the world, China is now providing zero tariff for all African countries that have diplomatic relations with China. So I believe that with China, that achieving the modernization, and with Nigeria, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, under the renewed hope agenda, and China and Nigeria, we could make, we could strive ahead with the achievement of our national rejuvenation, join our hands together. Let me also say that from the embassy, we support very strongly to increase our cooperation in all sectors, particularly in agriculture. Because China, we used to be and we still are an agriculture civilization. We understand the importance of agriculture. Being a civilization for over 5,000 years history, China suffered from starvation, from hunger, almost throughout of our history. As a matter of fact, over the past 70 years, China lifted over 800 million people out of poverty. And it was until 2021 that China got rid of absolute poverty for the first time in our history. So we understand the importance of agriculture. So from the embassy end, we support fully and strongly the project between the CCCC and the Kaduna State, the poultry project. We hope that this project will not only bring eggs to the Kaduna people, but will also contribute to the economic and social development of Kaduna State. I haven't visited Kaduna State yet, but I'm very much looking forward to do it. Kaduna State is a great state, and I should congratulate His Excellency, Honorable Governor, for the great achievement and your strong leadership over the years. And I think people have seen the change, the transformative change. And China, I think we would like to contribute to the development of Kaduna State. I know currently there are already a lot of Chinese companies that have a lot of projects there. They contribute to the creation of job opportunities, contribute to the development of the economy. So we look forward to more opportunities. With this, I thank you so much, Excellency. I'm looking forward to
the project. And then I'll hand over to the Chinese ambassador, who has chosen Kaduna as one of the prime areas that China wants to also divert their investment going forward. You will recall, Your Excellency, that after we visited, early in the year, we visited DQY Ecological Farms in Beijing. We saw one of the Chinese magic. We saw a company that was producing 2.5 million eggs a day in China. For you to produce 2.5 million eggs means that you must have 3 million laying hens. And they have 1 million broilers. So we propose to Mr. President that for us to address some of the challenges of food security in Nigeria and also to address some of the challenges of poverty alleviation in Nigeria, that we should replicate, working with Chinese companies, the same in Nigeria. Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in his usual bold and audacious approach to development in Nigeria, decided that we should not stop on 2.5 million eggs, that we should produce 6 million eggs a day in Nigeria. And he then designated 6 different states across the country. Each of the states, including Kaduna, are to produce 1 million eggs a day, which means Kaduna Poultry will have 1.2 million laying hens. We have about 300,000 broilers. We generate its own power. We also produce its own feedstock. And we also produce soy oil. In addition to that, and as agreed with you earlier, with your encouragement, we approached you and you swiftly approved for 7,000 hectares of land to be given to the SPV. We have since commenced all necessary feasibility studies, environmental impact assessment, and all the technical designs and all the detailed work that needs to be done. Where we are today, Mr. President has approved the funding for the 6 poultry farms across Nigeria from the Renew Hope Infrastructure Development Fund. and has promised that the money will be released immediately, so that by middle of next year, Nigerians can be enjoying 6 million eggs a day. We can feed our young children in primary and secondary school, at least with 1 egg a day. Actually, Mr. President approved 8, but we said let's start with the 6. And the 6, we are starting with 2 first, which is Kaduna and Oyo. Your Excellency, one of the major advantages is that this is not just a poultry project. Each of the poultry farm is designated to have 10,000 hectares of land to produce soybeans and maize of the international quality, acceptable to the Chinese market. And the intention is that with the soybeans and the maize, we will produce the feedstock for each of the poultries, from each of the poultry's designated land. But in addition to that, we know there are existing poultry farmers in Nigeria. We do not want to push them aside. So our plan is that the feedstock that is produced will be made available to existing poultry farmers in Nigeria to support them and to ensure that they get their own feedstock at subsidized price, so that they can compete with the new poultry farms that we are putting together, which is of a higher scale than exists today. In addition to that, we believe that, God's willing, if we get this right, we will be able to be a major exporter of soybeans to China. Today, America is the largest exporter of soybeans to China, and because of the tariff war, opportunity exists for countries like Nigeria to export soybeans. So we're also targeting that. Thank you for all your support, Your Excellency, feeding the chicken. The Chinese company will bring in feedstock of international standard to use to feed the first batch of chicken. But what does this mean to us? It means more employment. Each of those poultry would generate nothing less than 50,000 direct employment for Kaduna State. Not only that, we have projected, like I said, $450 million revenue over 5 years from this poultry farm, which is accruable to both federal government and Kaduna government. In addition to that, indirect jobs will be provided, because it's some people that will be selling the eggs, some people that will be selling the chicken, and some people, we are going to have more pepper soup joints on the streets of Kaduna and its environs. Because when you have 1.2 million lean hens, their lifespan is no more than 4 to 6 months. It means we'll be slaughtering an average of about 2.4 to 3 million hens in a year in Kaduna. The broilers are there. They have about 3 months lifespan. 300,000 of them every 3 months means about 1 million broilers. It also means that the cost of living will go down. Our people will have access to protein, and the livelihood of our people will improve. And thanks to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, appreciate the opportunity to meet with you, Your Excellency. Sitting right in front of me here, we talked to each other at even midnight to make sure that things. And the ambassador, who is here with us, has also been supportive on the Chinese side. It's being financed 35% by Nigerian government, 65% by China, saying that this project will pay itself in 5 years. So it's not a project that we are borrowing money to federal government of Nigeria and to Kaduna State government. Because with the land contribution and concluding on all the necessary FEC approvals and all the procurement documentation.
Governor of Kaduna State is hereby invited to make his speech. With your very powerful team, because I can see economic councillor today who is the brain behind most of this effort. So I have to thank Mr. Joseph Tebwe. We wish you safe return back to your various destinations.